thank Representative Gaines and Representative Brink for joining me. I'm Representative Moore. This is an education bill for an act relating to the beginning start date on the school calendar. Not controversial at all. I think just a couple comments before we get started here. I have no horse in the race here. This is about a conversation, I think. We want to start the conversation and hear where we can go if schools so choose to start going year round, because that will be an issue with school start date. And so let's just initiate the conversation. Let's have fun today. If you want to speak, come on up, use the microphone, please. And I think we'll just start from there. Who would like to begin? Nobody? Wow, this many? No. Margaret, go ahead. Thank you. Yes.
That's right. Okay. Margaret Buckton with the Urban Education Network. We now represent 22 school districts that contain 38% of the enrollment of students in the state. But our free and reduced price lunch population and our English language learner population and our special needs populations are all disproportionately large compared to the rest of the state. And for those students in particular that have extraordinary needs, more of a year-round calendar has been proven to minimize the learning loss that they have during the summer. It's called the summer slide in the research base. And it's important to work with communities and childcare providers and staff and the local economy to figure out what is the best fit for all of these things. And we trust our school boards to make those decisions in the best interest of their students and their taxpayers. So we're in favor of this bill.
Craig Patterson, I'm here representing Okoboji Tourism, and we're opposed to this bill. I think, our folks would be open to the conversation about a year-round waiver and how that would work. I think that's been a different waiver that's been discussed before in the code. But as it stands right now, every day that Okoboji loses from that summer season, it's over $1 million in revenues that doesn't come in. And that, the way our school funding formula works, that's half of that basically is school funding. So if you look at the tourism industry statewide, that's a lot of money that actually, feeds it, directly into funding education. So we like the way the current system is, but we're happy to be part of the discussion. Thank you.
I'm Dave Doughton, representing Rural School Advocates of Iowa. We're registered in support of this bill. The year-round school situation is a choice that maybe some districts may want to make. I look at it from our standpoint as we feel like local school boards should be able to make that decision no matter what. If they want to start in August, they should be able to do that. We think that the local school boards, elected school boards, can make those decisions based on the needs of their community. As Margaret talked about, you look at the needs of the community, determine when you should need to have school and when you need to take some time off. So again, rural schools are registered in support of the bill, and we hope that you'll move it forward.
Eric Goranson. I'm actually here today representing the Iowa Hotel and Lodging Association, and we are in line with our tourism friends' concerns on this and are registered against the bill.
Good afternoon, Jake Ketzner with Adventureland Amusement Park and the County Fair Association. We support the previously passed compromise legislation. We employ, Adventureland specifically employs hundreds of kids each summer, and we want that to continue. So we're big proponents of keeping the law as it is currently. Thank you.
I'm Phil Jenner with the Iowa, with the Iowa Association of School Boards, and we are registered in support of the bill. This is one issue that we hear probably outside of SSA one of the biggest issues that we hear from schools is the flexibility for them to pick their start date. That's a local control issue. And one of the things that we thought, we understand that there's various groups here that have talked about concerns and that type of thing. And one thing we thought that would potentially might be a compromise is if the language said that school could start after or on the first Monday after the state fair. We know that issue was fought about several years ago, and we thought that could be some type of compromise there that I think would give a little bit more flexibility to schools, because right now August 23rd can be a Friday, and that was one concern that a lot of school districts had. So if this does move forward, we would be happy to talk with you about that further. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Brittany Lumley. I'm here on behalf of the Travel Federation of Iowa, and we are registered against this bill. The tourism economy has gave over $864 million to the state. So when you cut into any of that time or those months, take months away from tourism, you're cutting into the state's revenue, and we want to make sure everybody is aware of that. Plus, with these last 2 years, obviously the hospitality has been hit pretty hard, not just in Iowa, but across the nation. So we want to make sure that we raise that point. And because of all of this, we are registered against the bill. Thank you so much for your time.
My name is Sarah Adey, and I'm here on behalf of the Iowa Catholic Conference, and we are registered in favor of this bill. I think like the other education groups have mentioned, we believe that it is really the best, this decision should be made by the local communities and the local school about what makes best sense for their students and their community. So we support this bill. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Matt Hinch, and representing the Iowa State Fair, we're registered against the bill.
So right now, current law on the waiver precludes a high school from doing a year-round school. Yeah, you can't have any high school option that's year-round. And so it's limited to younger grades. So there are a couple of examples of year-round schools that have been given waivers, but especially for smaller districts where it's a K-12 building, that would be almost impossible to have year-round school for your elementary and not for your high school, just because of the way you staff the entire facility. In urban districts, we've got high school programs where you might have 99% of the kids in one particular high school have extraordinary needs. Probably don't live in families that are going to go to Okoboji or even afford a state fair ticket. So to be able to provide them with an education that makes the most of that time and maybe even fills in some of those gaps with additional learning or internships or other experiences, it would really target a particular group of students that I think some of our urban districts would like to consider. But at this point, you can't do that for high school students.
I see both sides pretty clearly, and so I think the situation needs more study.
I see both sides as well. I know when they originally set up the date of the 23rd, maybe that wasn't the best solution. It probably should have been I'm going to go with Tuesday after State Fair, the State Fair mother. I'd prefer a day to get my cattle home, just to let you know. Tuesday after the State Fair would be a great benefit for me. versus the Friday problem we had last year. So that for the tickets that are not going to go on vacation, they still have the opportunity because I think down by us, most schools, if they do have a summer school, they invite certain kids to come, but it's also an optional opportunity for all the other children. So is that a solution to that possibility? Like getting that more involved?
A summer school is, it's supplemental program. It doesn't replace either the 180 days or, you know, the hours of instruction that are required. So to do that, when we think on a statewide basis, each day of instruction now I think is upwards to $22 million. So when you think about a district having the resource to add additional days, they have to hire staff, they have to keep the buildings maintained, they have to offer lunch, they have to have transportation. All the things that go along with that require a certain amount of money for each one of those summer school days.
Thank you. I wasn't quite sure. I just knew several had that, so I didn't know. Yeah, I mean, this is obviously, I know the last time I was not here when they changed it to the 23rd, but I've been had the understanding that it was a very large discussion. And so this is it's a very difficult topic to have I see it both sides. And so go back, I'm still thinking on this.
Yeah, I agree with everybody here. I think this is it's a complex issue and it's one we don't want to infringe on our business partners that are paying the taxes and making the money and all of that for the state government. But yet we also want that local school board to be able to make what the best decisions for them is. And so it's a catch-22 situation, I guess. So at this point, I think we'll just table this. I appreciate the discussion. I thank you, and it was helpful. And we'll, you know, when the time comes that there's more concern for year-round school, I think this is going to continue to become a more pressing issue. So thank you very much, everybody. Meeting adjourned.